Um, I want to appreciate everyone who organized this program. This is a beautiful one, well balanced, and I'm happy to be here. Um, I want to start up with this testimony. I was in Common Impact Center, that was in January, and I was discussing something with Reverend Obinna. About 20 Nigerians have died in the last 2 years, and all of them are in the care sector. Care sector, all of them. It got to a point where the former chairman of Nigerians in the UK community had to call me to say, please come and train our guys. I don't know what is happening. So I was discussing with Reverend Obin. I said, I wish the care sector will integrate stress management, train both staff, and train the residents on how to manage stress. It will go a long way in helping them. Guess what? A few months after, an organization called me to ask me if I can train the care workers and the service users on stress management. And next Saturday, I'll be training them. Hallelujah. I didn't know God was listening to our conversation. So I want to start with a simple definition of stress. Stress is how you respond to what is happening in and around you. It is your response that makes you stressed out, not what is happening. Job went through a lot, but he was never stressed out. But there was his wife crashing out, caused God and die. But Job was there without stress. There is a law I like to explain. It's called the law of predictability. They use it in law, so you can predict the outcome of a case based on former cases, right? In healthcare and in well-being, also use that law. If I see the way you live, what you eat, how you manage stress, I can predict whether you will live long or not. I can predict the kind of sickness you will have. And I see a lot of people living like that. So this morning, I'm going to talk about 3 pillars of well-being. Of course, stress management, work-life balance, everything will be included. The first thing is your lifestyle habits. Your lifestyle habits. It was when I came to the UK that I saw people walking back to back. I've never seen somebody do 12-hour shift for 7 days. Until I got to the UK. In fact, they lost a doctor in one of the teaching hospitals, I think in Nottinghamshire or something like that. He worked about 9 days. 12-hour shift. And by the time he resumed the next day, he collapsed. I see maybe because of the conversion of pounds to naira. Because when you get 2,000 pounds converted to naira for me, let me pick more shifts. It's causing us so much stress. Another thing that's causing us stress is inadequate sleep. Of course, if you're working back to back, you can't sleep. And little time to rest. The only time your body can recover is when you are resting. And I want to say this. Some of us are resting, but our brain is not resting. There's a difference between sleeping and resting. You can be sleeping, but you're not resting. Now, let me use a computer as an example. I can open so many tabs. I can open Facebook, Instagram, and just same with your phone. That is how we open apps on our brain. So when it's time to sleep, the apps are running in the background. And you will not be able to sleep. So what do I do before I sleep? I shut down all my apps in my brain. I remember I was doing a training in Nigeria Bar Association, Kano. And where I slept, the guy said he was watching me. Immediately I hit the bed. He counted 1 to 10 and I was gone. And he was saying, please listen to this guy. 10 seconds he was gone. Because in 10 seconds I've shut down. Hallelujah. Lifestyle habits, loneliness, which leads to depression. Many of us are living a lonely life. We never associate with anyone. We never go for parties. We never go for things that is organized by churches, house fellowships. We are just there on our own. After some time, you go on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, and you're shouting, loneliness want to kill us abroad. It's only you. It's not everyone. Yeah, I'm not lonely. I've got network of people. Anytime I'm lonely in Cheltenham, I come to Common Impact Center around, There was something that happened in US last year, and a lot of people are not aware. And that leads me to the second part, which is diet. The biggest way to manage stress is managing what you eat. That was last year. FDA in US approved that animals, like beef, chicken, should be created in the lab using animal stem cells. So they can create a full chicken in the lab, and it's being distributed all over the world. So this chicken didn't actually live, It just appeared like Adam, This chicken didn't graze. This chicken didn't eat any feed, but the chicken is alive, and they are selling it. There was something that happened in 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 40. Elisha wanted to eat. He sent one of his sons of the prophet to go to farmers market where they sell fruit and vegetables, to go and buy fruit so they can eat. Guess where this guy went to? He went to the supermarket and he got all manner of canned food, processed food. So by the time the sons of the prophet tasted the food, they said, Master, this doesn't taste like what we eat. I think there's poison in this food. Yes, because the guy didn't go to where they usually go to. He went somewhere else. And that is what happens to many of us. When you enter a big store, there's the fruit and vegetable side. But guess where we go to? The canned food. The unhealthy parts. The sausages, bacon, all those processed food that have a lot of sodium in it. That's where we go to. So if you don't go back to Eden, your health will fail. If you don't go back to Eden. I want to share a testimony. My wife is there. Towards the end of last year, I took permission from her to share this testimony. I don't want to, to say, why did you share my testimony? I didn't send you, I don't want stress at home. So, towards the end of last year, she had a health challenge. And I tried everything possible. In fact, I was one that discovered it. I tried everything possible to get her well, But you can lead a horse to the river. You can't force the horse to drink. I bought a lot of supplements. But I'll come back. Which one did you take today? Only I couldn't take anyone. No. Maybe tomorrow I will take it. Continue like that. Until one day she couldn't walk. She was limping. And she called me. She said, I'm not ready. I said, okay. So she stopped eating 3 times a day. Started eating only once. Had a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, morning and evening. Did a lot of juicing. In 1 week, arthritis disappeared. She's there standing. I saw her dancing. She couldn't dance 3 months ago. So anytime man goes back to the Garden of Eden, stress disappears. Hallelujah. The third one is your ability to manage stress. And I'm going to handle it in two parts. Physical manifestation and mental manifestation. 3 John chapter 1 verse 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest and be in health. That's physical health. As your soul prospers. That is mental health. So not just the body. Because you might want to make global impact, but your body is not ready. You can't do it. You need a healthy body to actually make a global impact. I remember speaking in one of the PFM programs in Nigeria. That was Abuja. And after I finished, one bishop walked up to me and said, when I was much younger, if I have a headache, I'll just lay hands, it to disappear. But when I hit 60, I will lay hands, lay legs, lay everywhere. The headache will still be there. By the time he went to check out, he had high blood pressure. So no matter how much zeal you have, stress is no respecter of any person. There are some physical manifestations of stress, like headache, generalized body pain, stomach pain, fever. There are some things that take you to the hospital for treatment, but it's not sickness. The doctors will tell you that you are fine, but you are not feeling fine. It is stress. It is stress. So if you don't find time to rest, I don't want to say it, but you will rest in peace. I said it at the pastor's seminar and everywhere was quiet. Anybody who doesn't rest will soon rest in peace. So even with all my work, there are some days I shut down. I say, no, anywhere, I'll watch movie. Some people feel guilty when they rest. You are resting and you are feeling bad. Souls are dying. These souls will continue to die. These souls will continue to die. Like Jesus said, the poor will always remain with you. But you might not be alive to see the souls. Hallelujah. But take out time to rest. Then when you come to mental manifestation, what you allow into your mind dominates your body. Let me give you a typical example. If I want to be stressed out now, all I need to do is to think about one country like that. I don't even mention the name of any country. Once I think about that country, oh my God, and I go on Twitter and I see what is happening in that country, my stress level goes up. Immediately. I don't know the name of the country. Maybe Bishop Feb knows, I don't know. So in the same vein, if I relax and see myself in number 10 Downing Street, discussing with the Prime Minister, in the terms of billions of pounds, my stress level disappears. So because what happens in your mind determines how your body responds. Your body is a slave of your mind. Your body responds according to your mind. So if you determine that what goes into my mind must be controlled by me, your stress level will reduce. You might be speaking to me, but I'm not hearing. I'm listening, but I'm not hearing. I have to allow it to enter into my mind for it to affect me. There are some people that are dispensers of stress. Yes, if they come in contact with you, you must be stressed out. All the problem they have since they were born, they will lay it on your head. So are you a joy giver or a stress dispenser? There are a few natural remedies I'm going to share. There's something I discovered. There's something called extra virgin cold press olive oil. Since I got that, my skin, you see what I'm looking, very young, You don't need to tell me. Extra virgin, I take a teaspoon every day. Especially if you are working in a very stressful environment. It helps the skin to glow. It helps to reduce the oxidation that takes place in the body. Then there are some that you have to consult your doctor if you have any health challenge before you take them. Like magnesium glycinate, glucosamine sulfate, vitamin D that has K2. K2 is very important. That helps vitamin D to be digested. Then there's what is called chamomile tea. I remember I recommended chamomile tea for one of my friends who has been finding difficult sleeping. This one is a chamomile flower, not just the tea. It's in a bag, I recommended it and she took it. She slept and woke up 10 in the morning. That's how powerful it is. I've been looking for this since I came to the UK and suddenly I saw it. So I have about 10 pieces available if you want to get it. Okay, so we set up a stress management clinic. I'm rounding up now. We set up a stress management clinic upstairs. And the Reverend is fully aware of it, where we do free glucose and blood pressure check. So if you know, even if you don't know, but you want to check your health status, just climb up. You see the sign. come there, I'll attend to you and do it completely free. Then there are a few things I'm doing. One of them is ionic detoxification, reflexology, and we've got loads of things that you can get, loads of our products that you can get. The ionic detox, I remember the first time I did it at MegaCon. That was the first MegaCon.